In the heart of Europe, surrounded by mighty peaks and emerald valleys, lies a world of calm and purity. The mountain villages of Switzerland. Life here begins with the sound of bells, not from a city clock, but from the necks of grazing cows, their gentle chimes echoing across the mist-covered fields. Morning sunlight filters through pine trees, touching the roofs of wooden chalets that cling to the slopes like stories frozen in time. The air smells of grass, dew, and wood smoke, and for a moment, it feels as though time itself has stopped. Here in the Swiss Alps, nature is not just a backdrop, it is life's foundation. The people who live in these villages grow up with the rhythm of the mountains. The rising sun dictates when work begins, and the falling dusk tells when it's time to rest. Every sound, the running stream, the cry of an eagle, the distant whistle of a train, carries a sense of harmony between man and the natural world. The mountains stand as guardians, ancient and wise, reminding everyone that in Switzerland, humans are guests of nature, not its masters. The villages are often small, just a cluster of wooden homes, a church steeple, a bakery, and a local dairy. Yet each village feels complete, self-sufficient, and proud. From afar, they appear like patches of color on the vast green canvas of the Alps. The beauty is almost unreal, and yet the people here see it as everyday life. The reward of living simply and working honestly. Paths lead through meadows filled with wildflowers, rivers shimmer under the sun, and at every turn, there's a postcard waiting to be captured. As the first light brightens the valley, farmers begin their daily routine. Switzerland's rural heart beats through its farms. Generations have lived by the same rhythm, caring for cattle, milking goats, and nurturing the land. Cows are more than livestock here. They are symbols of prosperity and identity. Their milk becomes the foundation of the nation's most treasured pride, cheese. Each region of Switzerland has its own cheese, shaped by altitude, grass, and craftsmanship. Gruyere, Emmental, Appenzeller, and raclette are more than food. They are the taste of the mountains themselves. On the higher slopes, goat herders move their flocks across steep terrain, their bells ringing like music from another time. The goats are agile, quick, and full of personality. Their milk, richer and sharper in flavor, is turned into tangy mountain cheese or thick yogurt that sustains villagers through long winters. Farming here is not mechanized or hurried. Every animal is treated with respect, every resource used with care. It's a relationship that goes both ways. The people nurture the animals, and the animals, in return, sustain the people. In the early morning, smoke rises from farm chimneys, and the smell of fresh hay fills the air. Farmers work side by side, repairing fences, storing firewood, or preparing feed for the coming days. Life is hard, but deeply satisfying. The Swiss farmer knows every inch of his land, every change in the weather, and every sound of the herd. It's a bond of trust that has lasted for centuries, unbroken, sacred, and true. The Swiss villages thrive not just on dairy, but on the bounty of their fertile valleys. Fields of barley, wheat, and rye shimmer in the summer wind. In the foothills, apple orchards, cherry trees, and grapevines spread across gentle slopes. Fruit farming plays a quiet but vital role in the country's economy. Apples become cider, cherries are distilled into kirsch, and grapes transform into fine wines that carry the aroma of the mountains. Villagers harvest every crop by hand, guided by precision and pride that only tradition can teach. Inside cozy wooden workshops, the sound of craftsmanship fills the air. Elderly men carve intricate patterns into wood, from cuckoo clocks to tiny Alpine figures. Women weave wool, spin yarn, and create handmade lace, a tradition passed down through generations. Every piece tells a story of patience and perfection. In the marketplace, stalls overflow with these treasures. Hand-woven blankets, carved spoons, and baskets made from willow twigs. It is art born not in studios, but in the rhythm of daily life. Agriculture in Switzerland is small-scale, but beautifully efficient. Every patch of land is used wisely, every drop of water conserved. The Swiss philosophy of balance shines here, a mix of tradition and innovation. As the sun climbs higher, the village awakens with colors and sounds of culture. Traditional Swiss clothing varies from valley to valley, but its essence remains the same: beauty, identity, and pride. Men wear woolen jackets embroidered with floral designs, while women dress in long skirts, lace blouses, and bodices tied with silk ribbons. The bright reds, blues, and whites reflect the vibrancy of the Alpine spirit. Music is the soul of Swiss village life. The echo of the Alphorn, that long wooden horn once used by shepherds to call across valleys, now fills the air during celebrations. Its deep, haunting sound blends perfectly with the vastness of the Alps. Accordion tunes, yodeling voices, and the rhythmic beat of folk drums bring energy to every gathering. Music here isn't just entertainment. It's storytelling through sound. Each note carries memory, emotion, and connection. When evening comes, families gather outside their homes, sipping warm drinks, listening to folk melodies, or even joining in a dance. Children laugh, elders smile, and strangers become friends. It's not grand or luxurious. It's simple joy, shared freely beneath the wide Alpine sky. In the heart of the Swiss Alps, every season brings its own story, and every village tells it through celebration. Festivals are not just events here. They are moments when the soul of the community shines the brightest. The most famous among them is the Alpabfahrt, or des Alpes, the traditional descent of cattle from the mountain pastures. After a long summer grazing in the high meadows, cows are decorated with flowers, ribbons, and ornate bells. Farmers wear their finest embroidered shirts and walk proudly beside their herds. The sound of cowbells fills the valley as villagers line the roads to welcome them home. It's not just a parade, it's a joyful homecoming, a symbol of gratitude for nature's bounty and a promise to begin the next cycle again. Throughout the year, festivals continue to mark the rhythm of life. In spring, colorful processions celebrate renewal and fertility. Summer brings open-air markets, traditional games, and music festivals that fill the mountains with laughter. Autumn harvest fairs overflow with apples, bread, and cheese, while winter lights the night with Christmas markets, where every street glows with lanterns, candles, and snow. Stalls offer hot chocolate, roasted chestnuts, and handmade gifts, while the air rings with the sound of choirs and the scent of cinnamon and pine. Each celebration, large or small, connects the people to their land, their ancestors, and their faith in simple joys. To step into a Swiss village is to step into a world where kindness is a daily ritual. The people here live by a simple rule: Gemeinschaft, meaning community. Neighbors help each other without asking, doors are rarely locked, and greetings are exchanged with genuine warmth. Whether you're a local or a visitor, you are treated like part of the family. Hospitality here is not a business, it's a way of life, a reflection of the respect and sincerity that defines Swiss culture. Small, family-run guest houses and farms open their doors to travelers who wish to experience authentic rural living. Guests wake up to the aroma of freshly baked bread, homemade cheese, and local honey. Breakfasts are served by families who have lived on the same land for generations. Conversations flow easily, often in several languages: German, French, Italian, or Romansh. But the language of warmth needs no translation. Around the dinner table, stories are shared about mountain storms, village legends, and the beauty of simple living. Every visitor leaves not just with memories, but with friendships that feel as old as the mountains. As autumn fades, the Alps transform. The air grows crisp, rivers freeze, and the first snowflakes fall like whispers from the sky. Winter in Switzerland is not an obstacle. It's a celebration of endurance, beauty, and togetherness. When the valleys turn white, life slows but never stops. Villagers prepare weeks in advance, storing firewood, preserving food, and insulating their homes. When heavy snow arrives, roads may close, but families open their doors wider. The world outside becomes quiet, but inside, it glows with life. A walk through a Swiss village in winter feels like stepping into a fairy tale. Wooden chalets stand blanketed in snow, their windows glowing softly with yellow light. Smoke rises from chimneys, carrying the comforting smell of burning pine wood. Children sled down gentle slopes, their laughter echoing through the valley, while elders sit by the fireplace, sipping warm tea or homemade schnapps. One of the most iconic images of Switzerland is the wooden mountain house, the chalet. Built from thick timber, often spruce or larch, these houses are designed to endure the harshest winters while remaining warm and inviting inside. Their sloping roofs allow snow to slide off easily, while deep eaves protect walls from rain and wind. Balconies are adorned with flower boxes that bloom in summer and are strung with lights in winter. The interior of a Swiss chalet is a reflection of the country's soul. Simple, functional, yet full of warmth. Wooden floors creak softly underfoot, walls are paneled with polished pine, and stoves made of stone or iron keep the entire home heated. The scent of wood smoke mixes with that of freshly baked bread and cheese melting in fondue pots. Every corner feels lived in, loved, and filled with history. Architecturally, these chalets represent Switzerland's genius for combining beauty and practicality. In recent years, modern chalets blend traditional craftsmanship with contemporary design. Large windows to capture mountain views, solar panels for sustainability, and locally sourced materials that honor the old ways. Whether ancient or modern, every Swiss wooden home carries the same essence: harmony with nature and deep respect for the environment. To understand Swiss village life, one must taste it. Food here is a story written in flavor, simple, natural, and honest. The Swiss table celebrates what the land gives: cheese, bread, potatoes, and fresh milk. In winter, the classic fondue brings families together, everyone dipping pieces of bread into a bubbling pot of melted cheese. In summer, raclette, cheese melted over potatoes and pickles, becomes a village favorite, often shared outdoors while enjoying the cool evening air. Rusty, a crispy potato dish, is eaten with eggs, sausages, or vegetables. Each meal is made from local ingredients, grown or made by the very people who eat it. Beyond food, Swiss culture reflects centuries of history. The country's 4 official languages, German, French, Italian, and Romansh, bring a diversity of traditions. In German-speaking areas, folk music and festivals dominate. In French-speaking regions, art and cuisine take center stage. And in Italian-speaking villages, life feels more Mediterranean, with open-air cafes and animated conversations. Yet across all these differences, one thing remains constant: a deep sense of order, respect, and pride in craftsmanship. Whether it's a cheese wheel, a clock, or a simple loaf of bread, everything is made with precision. Because for the Swiss, quality is a form of respect. In the heart of Switzerland, sustainability isn't a new trend. It's an old wisdom that has been lived and passed down for generations. Long before the world began to speak about eco-living or green energy, the Swiss villagers had already learned the secret: to take only what nature gives and to give back more than you take. Their lives are built on respect for the land, the animals, the forests, and the seasons that shape them. Every action, from farming to construction, is guided by balance. Villagers collect rainwater for their gardens, recycle wood, and use solar panels alongside traditional stoves. Alpine meadows are carefully managed, ensuring that the grass regrows after every grazing season. Forests are never overharvested. Instead, new trees are planted after every cut. This sense of stewardship is deeply rooted in their identity, not because of regulation, but because of love. To the Swiss, nature is not just a backdrop, it's a living companion, a sacred part of their existence. Walk along a mountain path and you'll see how this harmony comes alive. Wooden fences blend with the hillsides, stone walls are built from local rocks, and flowers are planted to protect the soil from erosion. Even the smallest village looks perfectly placed, as if designed by the mountains themselves. Today, Swiss village life walks gracefully between two worlds, the charm of tradition and the promise of modern life. Broadband internet connects remote valleys, and modern trains glide through snow-covered landscapes where horse carts once rolled. Each season in Switzerland paints a different portrait of village life. In spring, the meadows awaken with yellow buttercups and purple crocus, and rivers run wild with melted snow. It's the time for planting, for renewal, for dreams. Summer follows, bursting with color. Cows graze high on the green slopes, children swim in glacial lakes, and farmers make hay under blue skies. The scent of fresh-cut grass mixes with the sound of cowbells and laughter. Autumn arrives like a poem. Golden forests, apples ripening, and the sweet smoke of wood fires drifting through the valleys. It's a season of gratitude, of harvest festivals and family gatherings. As the sun sets behind the Alps, golden light spills across the wooden rooftops, and cowbells echo faintly in the distance. The village quiets, smoke rising softly from the chimneys. Somewhere, a family gathers around the dinner table. Laughter mixes with the crackle of fire. The mountains watch in silence, as they have for thousands of years, protecting the people who live in their shadow. This is Switzerland, not just a country, but a feeling. A place where the old and the new hold hands, where life moves slowly but meaningfully, and where every breath feels like a gift from the mountains themselves. In these villages, time stands still. Not because it has stopped, but because it has found its perfect rhythm. So when you visit these valleys and walk along their cobbled streets, listen carefully. Beneath the sound of bells, wind, and footsteps, you'll hear it, the heartbeat of the Alps. It beats in the people, in the animals, in the rivers and trees. It's the sound of a life lived in balance, in beauty, and in peace. Nestled between majestic snow-covered Alps and serene green valleys, Switzerland is a land where nature and tradition harmoniously blend. Beyond the modern cities and luxury watches lies the true heart of the country, the Swiss countryside, where generations of farmers have lived a simple yet deeply meaningful life. The life of a Swiss farmer reflects the essence of Swiss culture: discipline, respect for nature, family unity, and pride in one's heritage. From the early hours of dawn, the Swiss farmer's day begins with the soft chime of cowbells echoing through the misty mountains. The scene is timeless: cows grazing on lush meadows, wooden chalets standing firm against the slopes, and families working hand in hand to care for animals and land. Agriculture in Switzerland is not merely a profession, it is a legacy passed down from ancestors who shaped the land with their hands and hearts. Many families live in traditional wooden farmhouses, beautifully decorated with carved balconies and flower boxes, standing as symbols of Swiss craftsmanship and pride. Dairy farming remains one of the pillars of Swiss rural life. The country's world-famous cheese, like Emmental, Gruyere, and Appenzeller, originates from these farms, where cows graze freely on fresh Alpine grass. The quality of milk depends on the purity of the environment, and Swiss farmers take this responsibility seriously. In the cool mountain air, the farmers milk their cows by hand or with small modern machines, turning the fresh milk into butter, cream, and cheese. In summer, many families move their herds to higher pastures, a tradition called Alpaufzug, where cows feed on alpine herbs that give Swiss cheese its unique aroma. At the end of the season, a colorful festival known as Alpabfahrt celebrates the cows' return to the valley. The animals are decorated with flowers and bells, and the villagers gather in joy, music, and dance. The Swiss farmer's life follows the rhythm of nature. Each season brings a new routine and responsibility. In spring, fields come alive with wildflowers, and farmers prepare the soil for crops such as barley, rye, and potatoes. Summer is the busiest season, the time for haymaking, tending pastures, and maintaining irrigation channels. Autumn brings harvest festivals and the making of cheese and wine. When winter arrives, heavy snow blankets the valleys, and families focus on indoor work, repairing tools, weaving, carving wood, and preparing food for the long cold months. Swiss farming traditions are deeply tied to family life. Every member, from children to elders, plays a role in the daily work. Children grow up learning the values of patience, discipline, and respect for animals. The strong family structure and close-knit community are essential to survival in the mountain regions. Neighbors help each other during tough times, sharing tools, labor, and food, a spirit of cooperation that defines Swiss rural culture. Cultural heritage remains alive in the countryside through traditional clothing, folk music, and festivals. Men often wear woolen jackets, embroidered suspenders, and felt hats, while women don colorful dresses with lace aprons and silver jewelry. Music is a key part of Swiss tradition, from the haunting melody of the Alphorn echoing across the valleys to yodeling, which farmers once used to communicate across the mountains. During local festivals, villagers gather in wooden halls or open fields, playing accordions, dancing, and sharing homemade dishes like rösti, fondue, and raclette. These gatherings strengthen community bonds and remind people of their cultural identity. Swiss farmers are also known for their respect toward the environment. Switzerland's landscape is one of the cleanest in the world, and this is largely due to the farmers' sustainable practices. They use organic fertilizers, preserve forests, and avoid overproduction to maintain ecological balance. The Swiss government supports small-scale farmers through cooperative systems and fair trade policies, ensuring that traditional agriculture remains profitable in a modern economy. Many farms are open to visitors, allowing travelers to experience rural life, taste fresh dairy products, and learn how cheese or chocolate is made directly from the source. Life in a Swiss village is not just about work. It's about living in harmony with nature. Evenings are peaceful. Families gather around wooden tables, sharing stories while the fireplace crackles. Outside, the stars shine brightly over snow-covered peaks, and the distant sound of a cowbell reminds everyone that life continues in its quiet rhythm. In addition to dairy farming, many Swiss farmers engage in fruit cultivation and beekeeping. Apples, pears, cherries, and plums are common crops, often used to produce traditional jams and schnapps. Honey from Alpine bees, known for its rich flavor, is another prized product. Some regions also specialize in vineyards, particularly in the cantons of Vaud, Valais, and Ticino, where the tradition of winemaking dates back centuries. Each product carries the flavor of the land, pure, natural, and made with love. Handicrafts and traditional skills are also a major part of Swiss rural identity. Farmers and their families often create wooden carvings, embroidery, and leather goods during the winter months. These handmade crafts are sold in local markets or passed down as heirlooms. Swiss culture is defined by balance between old and new, work and rest, tradition and progress. Despite modernization, the essence of Swiss farming life remains intact. Many young people, even after studying or working in cities, return to their ancestral villages to continue their family's legacy. They bring with them new technologies, solar energy, digital tools, modern equipment, blending innovation with heritage. This combination ensures that Swiss rural life remains sustainable for future generations. Tourists who visit Swiss villages are often captivated by their simplicity and beauty. Wooden chalets adorned with flowers, cows grazing on emerald hills, and farmers in traditional attire create an image straight out of a postcard. But beyond the scenery lies a deep philosophy, a belief in hard work, humility, and gratitude for nature's blessings. The Swiss farmer's life is not luxurious, but it is rich in meaning and peace, a way of life that teaches us to appreciate the land, respect tradition, and live in harmony with our surroundings. In the end, the story of the Swiss farmer is the story of Switzerland itself, a land of mountains and meadows, precision and purity, where time seems to slow down and every sunrise brings a renewed promise of life. If you enjoyed this journey through Swiss village life, culture, and traditions, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful stories from around the world, where heritage, nature, and humanity come together in timeless harmony.